What's up, everybody? So the big shad have moved up to the concrete walls of the dam, and they're stacked up pretty thick there. People are there catching them with dip nets and cast nets and all that, so it's pretty easy pickings right now. We're going to take a drive down there and get our fair share of them. We're going to show you my process I take to getting them alive and getting them home alive. I'm going to show you from when I catch them to getting them to the holding tank of the truck, and then from there I'm going to get them home and show you how I get them to the big live tank here so I can have live bait for months at a time. And then see if you can spot some of these paddlefish coming up to the dam in the video while I'm catching shad. And then towards the end of the video, we're going to drop this camera down below the water and see what's down there. So let's get to it. Alright, so this is setup I have in my truck, or if I'm going out in the boat to catch shad, I'll put it out in my boat. It was my old bait tank, but I converted it over to my kind of my purging tank, or just to take out and catch bait and get them home to the big tank. So I kind of made this makeshift lid here that goes on there. Just put some pool noodles around the edge to keep the water from splashing out. I'll put that lid down and kind of lock it down. Got her filling up with water, put some salt in there. Gotta add some dechlorinator in there. And then I got a spray bar, 12 volt. I got a battery right here. I'm just gonna hook it up to that once the shad are in there. That should keep them good and healthy for the ride home. And we'll get them into the big tank. So. All right, so we just got here to the dam. Talked to some guys in the parking lot here. They're using cast nets and they're not getting hung up. You just got to be kind of quick with it. So I'm going to take the cast net down there and just use that. I'm going to have to strap on the camera to do this because it's kind of a steep bank and stuff. So view of the dam there, you can see that. Got a lot of water flowing, a lot of rain lately. Some boys out there catfishing. Now's the time to do it. Alright, let's get down here and get some bait. Usually a lot of paddlefish and other fish you can see down here, so we might see some of them. Water's kind of clear. They kind of spick away when you walk up to them, but we'll kind of hang out here for a minute, let them kind of build back up. Get some water in the bucket here. Alright, see what we can do. Let's go. Get a little first throw there. Got a drum in there, get rid of him. White bass in there too I got to get rid of. They get thicker farther up the wall you go, but this is as far as you're allowed to cast net. Pretty good haul. Another white bass in there. I'll have to get him out. A couple white bass in there actually. Go ahead and get these up to the live tank so they don't die on us here. You don't want to leave them in the bucket for too long like this if you're wanting to keep them alive. If you just got to freeze them, it don't matter, but trying to keep a few alive. Putting in the big tank at home. Alright, I think I mentioned it earlier. I did put some ice in here to cool it down. I'll probably stop and get some more. It's a warmer time of year, so it's a little more difficult to keep them lively, so you gotta try to keep that water cool. Go ahead, hook up the old. Alright, we got her in there. shad this size, you don't want to overload your tank or else they'll just die. So we'll probably put a few more in the tank and then we'll get some for the cooler to freeze. So let's go get some more. Excited to get some of this bait on the river and catch some big blues and flatheads. That's what I love about that live bait tank, is being able to have live bait when them flatheads start biting. They like to cut bait too, but they're more prone to attack those live baits. So it's good to have on hand. Hopefully I can get into some flathead this year. This is a smelly job, so hopefully your significant other can still handle you when you get home smelling like shad. To me, I say it's a smell of success. And it's a smell of future big catfish. Take advantage of any gathering of baits you can. That's why if you watch some, there's big paddlefish there. You've seen that. A couple of them there. Paddlefish. Pretty cool. See all kinds of stuff here. See them there? Look at them all. Pretty cool sight. It's a good hole right there. Some big ones in there. Alright. A healthy bucket load of them. How we want them, good and healthy and lively. I'll probably stop and get some more ash on the way home. I think that's about as much as my tank's going to take. Alright, so we just got back to the house here. And we're going to check on these shad, see how they did on the drive home. Alright, let's see what we got. Pretty good so far. Yeah. Looks like we're doing good. Oh, they're still swimming around in there pretty good. See them all in there. Good and lively. That was a 2-hour drive home. You see, I don't think I really lost any. And they're still kicking, so we're going to get them to the live tank. Your biggest enemy with getting shad is heat, so this is a warmer time of year, so I had to, what I did was put a big bag of ice in this before I started putting the shad in there. You don't want to get it crazy cold, but you want to kind of gradually get it in there. I like to get it a little colder than the water that they're in. So I put a bag of ice in there. I loaded they're kicking there. Kicking really nice in there. Anyway, I loaded down, and then on the way home I stopped, added some more ice, so you gradually kind of lowering the temperature. And then that was pretty much good enough, and here I am. It's a 2-hour drive. It's good to let them purge in this tank. Nice big live shad in there. Let them purge in here. I mean, they can purge for a while, but at least get the bulk of it done, and then they'll be ready to go in the big tank there. So just that temperature is your main thing. If it's warm out, wintertime much easier. But like I said, I put salt in there. Actually ended up going to the boat ramp and putting some buckets of the river water in as well, just to kind of get some of that in there. If you have access to whatever river or lake water with a pump or something, you can get it. It's even better. I need to get a better pumping system to fill this up with for that situation, but you can see it worked out just fine. It's all about how you handle these things, on how they're going to stay alive and how long they're going to last for. You should be able to keep them for months if you got a good tank like I do in there. So, and you want to, if you're going to be using a cast net, you don't want to be gilling your shad. You don't want them getting damaged, you know, by the net. So you want to make sure to get the right net mesh size for what you plan on doing. These were so big it didn't matter. They weren't getting gilled at all. But you try not to handle them with your hands too much. So I tried to go straight to my bucket of water. I don't want to keep them in there long. You want to get them to this holding tank as fast as possible. And if you're in a boat, like sometimes I'll put this tank in my boat and I'll do the same situation. I'll just empty my shad out into the tank and take it home. In this case I was able to do it from the bank. Just pretty much the same thing. Just try not to handle them with your hands. Try not to be rough with them. Get them to the oxygen as fast as possible. And you'll be good to go. So we're going to get these bad boys into the big holding tank. And I'll show you what those bad boys look like. Alright, we got them all loaded up in the tank. Take a look at these. They're all good and lively in there. Just put them in there. I got everything running full blast. Get away from that aerator for now. It's a little noisy, but so you know, handle them well. Get them in that tank. They'll do pretty good. Rule of thumb, kind of, is you want to do the amount of shad would be about 1 to 3 shad per gallon, depending on the size. It's kind of important. You don't want to overcrowd, or else they'll just end up dying on you. So I kind of stick with that. With these being this big, 1 per gallon, or maybe even you know, less than that. So I think they're going to be doing it. I'll keep an eye on them. I've had this tank for about a month now. It's kind of establishing bacteria, the beneficial bacteria they need. So I think it's pretty much ready for them. And I'm going to have plenty of live bait for the rest of the year here soon. So also we're stocked up on a bunch for the freezer, and freezer's just loaded down. I mean, look at the size of some of these things. Loaded down with frozen bait. Look at that big 17-inch shad. So I'll probably end up giving away to some friends and stuff that fish too. So I got more than I need, so I don't mind being generous with it. Well, alright, we got the bait in the tank there. We're going to go ahead and show you the footage of the camera below the water there at the dam. So check this out. Hopefully you enjoy. Well, alright, that's a wrap for this video. Hopefully you learned something from this and you yourself can start keeping some bait live at home, because ultimately having good fresh bait is the key to connecting with those big trophy fish. And then also check out some of these other videos for this subject, and we'll see you on the next bite.